What is going on, YouTube family? Tonight I want to talk to you about a bait that I've developed a ton of confidence in 2016, and that's a soft plastic paddle tail swim bait. Now, in particular, the bait that I used was a Bass Magnet Lures Shifter Shad. Before I talk to you guys about the Shifter Shad, I want to talk to you guys about the company, Bass Magnet Lures, how I got to know about them, because they are relatively small. They're from Ontario, Canada, and haven't really penetrated the US market too much yet. So about 6 years ago, I was at a college fishing tournament in Buffalo, New York on Lake Erie. As you guys might know, Lake Erie is full of giant smallmouth bass. So college fishing, you used to fish the day after what is now the Costa Del Mar series. So you go to the Coastal Weigh-In and you get to hear from the pros how they caught their fish, so you could apply those patterns to your day of fishing. Well, after the weigh-in, I went up to a gentleman named Jamie Irwin. Now, Jamie owns a small sports shop in Ontario, Canada, and he was really quick to share how he was catching his fish. But what he was doing was a little bit different, or the bait that he was throwing was a little bit different than what the other guys in the field were throwing. So, him and I got to talking, and he called me over to his truck. He says, "Come here, let me give you some baits." So we walked over to his truck, and he handed me about 10 to 15 of these very unique looking drop shot baits. They're called the Bass Magnet Lures Twitch. I'm sure you guys have seen me talk about these baits in some of my other big smallmouth videos, but the Twitch played a huge role for me in catching a lot of giant fish, not only this year but in the past as well. As you can imagine, they didn't last very long, especially when you're catching big smallmouth on a drop shot. Your bait is inevitably either going to get torn up or fall off. So I went through these baits pretty quick, and a couple years back I got a hold of Bass Magnet Lures. I got a hold of a guy named Mike over at Bass Magnet Lures, him and I have developed a pretty close relationship because we both share the passion for catching big fish. So Mike sent me over some Bass Magnet Lures Shifter Shads. Now these I paid for a couple years ago. They sat in my box for about 2 years and I never touched them. Little did I know, well, I had an idea that chartreuse color would be one of my all-time favorite smallmouth baits. Flash forward to 2016. It was October 2016 when I made the decision to tie on an underspin with a 3.75 inch Bass Magnet Lures Chartreuse Shifter Shad. First cast, I cast that bait out there and I let it sink to the bottom. And as the bait's sinking to the bottom, it just stops. You know what it is. I mean, you cast that bait out there and it stops before it hits the bottom. And when that happens, typically it's a better than average fish. So I reel down on that fish, get him in the boat, and it's a 4.5 pounder. He has that thing choked all the way down, the tail's down his throat, and from that moment I was hooked on that bait. The Bass Magnet Lures Shifter Shad, I am not kidding you guys, probably caught me over 100 fish within the month of October. That bait for me was absolute gold. So I had sent Mike some footage of me catching fish on the Shifter Shad, and he was pretty amazed. They didn't even make the chartreuse color anymore, so what he did is he poured me some chartreuse Shifter Shads so that I could make it through the month of October. What I did in return for those baits is I made him a promo video really promoting the Shifter Shad, and it's a way for me to share my passion for these baits with you guys, kind of get this bait on the market and help you guys catch more fish. So what I'm going to play now is a little promo video that I put together for Bass Magnet Lures promoting the Shifter Shad. And I just want to emphasize to you how effective this bait has been for me. I have 100% confidence in this bait. It's the only paddle tail swim bait that I threw this year, and it's really revolutionized or changed the way that I look at soft plastic paddle tail swim baits. I'm throwing a little 3.75 inch paddle tail swim bait, and then I even bite some off of it, so it's smaller than that, and I'm catching 4, 5, 6 pound smallmouth bass on this bait, and it's just eye-opening, man. I mean, these fish will choke this bait, and it's bright chartreuse. They will choke this bait all the way down so the tail is in their throat. I want you guys to take a look at this video. Let me know what you guys think, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Hi everyone, I'd like to talk to you today about the Shifter Shad from Bass Magnet Lures. The Shifter Shad has caught more fish for me this fall than any other bait. The shifter shad comes in 2 different sizes, 3.5 and 5 inches long. Both baits are excellent profiles and sizes for any size of fish. My 2 favorite ways to rig the shifter shad is on an underspin and on a standard head-weighted swimbait hook, hook exposed. You can also rig it on a weedless, belly-weighted swimbait hook and fish it around grass and cover in super skinny water. The shifter shad features a big boot tail, which gives this bait an extremely wide action in the water, which has a good pulling power to draw those fish to this bait. My 2 favorite colors in the Bass Magnet Lures shifter shad are the Chartruese Silver Flash for smallmouth and the bluegill color for largemouth. But Bass Magnet Lures has a wide variety of colors that'll help you catch fish all across the country. So go check out the Bass Magnet Lures shifter shad and catch yourself some big old fish.
Big, big, big. Oh, oh, oh. There's one with him. Oh, oh. That's gotta be close to 6. That's the biggest one so far, I think. That's crazy. They're choking the underspin. Alright, I'm getting my butt kicked out here. I've caught 1 fish. Boom! Again, choking it. Dude. Unreal. Do I need to put underspin on?
So I hope you guys enjoyed that little video I tossed together for Bass Magnet Lures. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, click subscribe down below. I post a lot of videos of me catching big fish. I try to do some unboxings, and this winter I'll be doing a lot more tips and tricks. Let me know in the comment section below what you'd like to see in future videos, and add me on all my social media. Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and Twitter. All the links to those are in the description below. I appreciate you guys watching. As always, take care. Tight lines. God bless.